in the sprawling grounds of Exeter University. Nestled amidst South Devon's rolling hills, where modern lecture halls rise beside ancient oaks and the city's skyline glimmers in the distance, there lingers a tale as enduring as the campus itself, a ghostly figure in white overalls, seen drifting through the corridors of the university's older buildings. Reported sightings over the decades paint him as a benign spectre, believed to be the spirit of a decorator who so loved his work that he couldn't bear to leave it behind, even in death. Nighttime wanderers and late-shift staff whisper of his presence, a quiet admirer of his own handiwork, forever bound to the walls he painted. His legacy a spectral vigil over the university he helped shape. The story begins in the early 1950s, during the post-war boom when Exeter University, then known as University College of the Southwest, was expanding rapidly to accommodate a surge of students eager for education after years of rationing and conflict. The Streatham campus, with its red brick buildings and Georgian-inspired designs, buzzed with construction as new halls were raised and old ones refurbished. Among the workers was Henry Caldwell, a decorator of 45 winters, known for his meticulous brushwork and unyielding dedication. Born in 1905 in a small Devon village, Henry had apprenticed under his father, a painter for the gentry, and by the 1950s, he'd earned a reputation as the man who could make walls gleam like new. His white overalls splattered with a rainbow of paint, his hands steady as stone despite the years. Henry joined the university's maintenance crew in 1952, tasked with painting the corridors of Washington Singer, Devonshire House, and other buildings springing up across campus. He loved the work, the rhythm of the brush, the smell of fresh paint, the way a room transformed under his steady hand. Colleagues often found him whistling old sea shanties as he worked late into the evening, his lantern casting long shadows down empty halls. "It's like giving life to the place," he'd say, grinning beneath his battered cap, his blue eyes alight with pride. But in the spring of 1954, tragedy struck. While painting the upper corridor of Washington Singer late one night, Henry slipped from a rickety ladder, his head striking the floor with a sickening crack. He died before help could reach him, his paintbrush still in hand, a streak of white across the half-finished wall marking the spot where he fell. The university mourned Henry briefly, a quiet man whose work spoke louder than words. But life moved on, new decorators finishing what he'd begun, his name fading into the campus's growing bustle. Yet within months, whispers of a ghostly presence began to stir among the night staff and students burning the midnight oil. In the autumn of 1954, a janitor named Beatrice Langdon, sweeping the corridors of Devonshire House at 10 p.m., saw a figure in white overalls walking slowly down the hall, his back to her, a paintbrush tucked into his belt. Thinking at a colleague working late, she called out, but the figure turned a corner and vanished, her broom clattering to the floor as she realized the corridor ended in a locked door, unopened since her rounds began. Sightings multiplied over the decades, always in the older buildings. Washington Singer, Devonshire House, the Northcote Theatre, where Henry had left his mark. In 1962, a student named James Trevelyan, studying late in a seminar room, glimpsed the same figure in white overalls peering through the window. Henry's silhouette distinct against the moonlight, his face obscured, but his posture one of quiet admiration, as if inspecting the walls for a job well done. James blinked, and the figure was gone, leaving only a faint whiff of paint thinner in the air. In 1975, a night porter named Neil Harrowell, a sturdy man with a no-nonsense demeanor, saw him in Washington Singer's upper corridor, walking past the very spot where he'd fallen, his overalls pristine despite the dim light, his steps silent as he paused to gaze at the wall, then vanished mid-stride as the clock struck 11. By the 1980s, the ghost in white overalls had become campus folklore, a benign spirit dubbed Henry the Painter by students who left paint cans as offerings. In 1989, a maintenance worker named Nathaniel Vasey, repainting a lecture hall in Northcote House, felt a tap on his shoulder at midnight. Turning to find no one, though a fresh streak of white paint marked the wall beside him, untouched by his own brush. He's still at it, Nathaniel chuckled nervously to his mates at the Imperial pub, though he avoided working alone thereafter. In 1995, a film student named Rose Langdon, shooting a documentary on campus legends, captured a flicker on her footage, a blurry figure in white overalls walking through a corridor of Devonshire House, before the camera battery died inexplicably, though fully charged. The haunting persisted into the 21st century, always gentle, always tied to Henry's craft. In 2010, a professor named William, grading papers late in Washington Singer, heard the faint whistle of a sea shanty echoing down the hall, following it to find no one, though a freshly painted patch gleamed on a wall known to have chipped for years, untouched by modern hands. In 2018, a fresher named Jane Trevelyan, working the night shift at the library reception near Northcote House, saw him through the glass doors. Henry in his white overalls, standing still as if admiring the ceiling trim, vanishing as she blinked, leaving only a faint scent of paint thinner behind. Students and staff alike came to view Henry as a guardian of sorts, a craftsman too devoted to leave, his spirit lingering to admire the work he loved. Campus legends grew. Some said he'd painted over graffiti in the dead of night, others that he'd tap a shoulder to warn of peeling plaster. But no one feared him, his presence a quiet comfort in the late hours. The university archives, prompted by Rose's documentary, unearthed a faded photo of Henry Caldwell from 1953. White overalls, paint-splattered cap, blue eyes crinkled in a grin, confirming the man behind the myth. Though his grave in St. Thomas's churchyard bore no epitaph, only dates, 1905 to 1954. Today, Exeter University thrives as a hub of learning. Its corridors are alive with the chatter of students and the hum of progress. But the older buildings hold a stillness after darker space where Henry's spirit wanders. On quiet nights, custodians and scholars alike report glimpses of the man in white overalls, walking slowly, pausing to inspect a wall or doorway, vanishing as silently as he came. His ghostly vigil endures. A decorator who loved his work so fiercely that death couldn't part him from it. His spectral brushstrokes, a testament to a craft eternal in the halls of Exeter University. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, like, follow, subscribe, and comment below.